Wow.
What's up, y'all? I'm gonna do the intro. What's up, y'all?
Fired.
Season 2, episode 17.
It's not. It's 18.
18.
You fired.
Go ahead, Dre.
Oh my!
Take it over.
goodness.
Back to you. We're not gonna do this today. We're gonna be
We
serious.
are.
I guess.
We
Serious.
are. Welcome to another episode of So You Think You Can Dance. I'm just kidding.
What?
That was good too, because I was about to break it down in this mug.
I couldn't do it. All right.
Shink-da-dink.
I'm working on just, you know.
Welcome to another episode of Adjust My Chair.
Adjust my chair.
Go ahead,
Just
I'm
like
sorry.
my ride.
Today this episode would have worked so much better. It could have just been me and Craig. Honestly.
Did he just do that?
No, wait.
Just kidding. Christian could have been here. She's been kind of mild today.
So because I lie about being on time, now you want to attack me.
I mean,
Yo,
told on
I
yourself.
text Dre. He said, "How far are you?" I said 5 minutes. I said, "I'm on Metro Parkway," and I sent him
And
a
then he
picture.
sent a picture.
And I said, "I'm not lying this time."
First of all, the picture you sent was a road.
It was literally
you know that was
start
Metro
there.
on the
Parkway,
road
nigga.
again.
Let's start there.
You know that was Metro
I was
Parkway.
like, there's no landmarks. When the house,
Metro
nigga, it was
Parkway.
trees.
You know Metro Parkway look like that.
A lot of parkways look like that.
Hey, would you like to introduce the guest?
Can we introduce the episode? Because we technically
Okay,
didn't
go
start.
ahead. We ready?
This is chaotic.
As we go, it gets more chaotic.
Scene. Yeah.
Yeah. Episode 18. Here we are, Dream Lab Podcast. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Clap your hands, people of God. Clap your hands. Clap your hands. Clap. Y'all not gonna clap? That's cool. That's cool. Episode 18 of the Dream Lab Podcast. It's your captain. It's your boy Dre Perry, and I'm here with the co-pilots.
Shink da dink.
Shink-da-dink.
We're doing a new thing this week.
Shink da dink.
Thanks, Debbie.
We we got Kev Stewart in the building.
Woo, 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 woo.
Mr. Osei, can you see? I'm playing.
Because I was about to be like, before we start, national anthem, please.
I am so giddy.
Are you?
Yep, go ahead. Next person, introduce her, please.
Please don't. Just move on.
Just move.
Move
Skip you
along.
wrong.
Because this
No, we have to know who you are.
Chrissy B is in the building.
Pew, pew, pew.
Yeah, we got to bring the sound effects back. They'll be
Yeah,
back. They'll
where's
be back.
that
No
thing?
worries. No worries. They're
Please,
coming
since
back.
you've
They're
been
coming
without
back.
the iPad for
Fix
2
it.
weeks.
Oh, wow. Y'all notice like they getting a little bit more hostile each episode. I don't know what's going on.
We learn from the best.
Making me nervous. My knees,
Yeah.
they aching. All right. So, we have a special guest in the bit. Y'all, we got guests 2 episodes in a row. It's crazy.
We're turning into the Wendy Williams show in this hour.
Wow. Not Wendy.
When I think of Wendy,
When I think of Wendy Williams,
I think,
Halloween.
Mighty God.
yeah, I think, and she was like,
And she will fall out as a
This
statue of
isn't
liberty.
that. This isn't that. Ladies and gentlemen, we have somebody who is very special to the city of Detroit.
Yes.
And not only the city of Detroit, I truly believe this country. I believe he's doing some great things. I am glad that he is in the building with us today. He's got an event coming up. He has some music. He produces music. He's a musician. He's a lot, and he's going to tell us about all those things that he is today. Ladies and gentlemen, Craig Mizell. Clap your
What up?
hands.
What up? What up? What up? What up?
How are you, sir?
I'm well.
That's
I'm
good.
well.
That's
I'm
good.
well.
We're glad that you made it to the Dream Lab
Appreciate y'all
podcast on
having me.
today. You 6'12", sitting on a 5'5" couch.
No, this is 3 foot.
I said, Craig, stand up. He said,
Oh, God. And I just watched the movie today with that. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Oh, today is a great day. It's so hot outside, but it feels pretty good in here. So
We got a
before
fan.
we do, because I wasn't sure last week, it got super hot in here, so
Yeah.
we just brought
His
that fan
air
in
do
here.
work, y'all.
It does.
The
It
the
does.
vent was just
Clear.
closed.
Yeah.
The vent
For
was closed.
a whole
It was
season.
a
and half.
whole entire season. We said, why is it so hot?
But we stuck through it for y'all, for the viewers.
Oh
Yes, we
my
did.
God.
Why is it so hot? It's dumb. So before we get into this conversation today, I just want to, of course, go around the room, check in with everyone, see how you're doing. Craig, Kev.
It's okay. He's a great guy. You can call me Craig. Just don't call me anything else but somebody that's great.
Steve, you be like,
Steve. Yep, I'll take Steve Jobs,
Oh.
jeez, okay.
Jobs?
Kev, how are you?
I am good. I, of course, had an amazing weekend. I mean, a lot of people was hype over the whole Star Spangled Banner thing, but The biggest thing for me this weekend was the pre-save of Karen Clark Shear's album and seeing 2 songs I co-wrote.
Wow.
I could have lost it.
You got 3 fingers up right now.
No, this is the one directing towards Chrissy.
What's the purpose of that?
Victorious. I'm just
Got you.
passionate.
All right, go ahead. 2
No,
songs.
but I was really
or
excited
3.
about that, bro. Like, I got a chance to sing on the single that just came out, but actually really seeing the songs listed, I was like, oh no, this is for real.
Yeah.
Like, we
That's
really
great.
did make the album. So that was, that's a really good thing.
That's fantastic.
I'm
Let's take a
trying to-
moment. Can we just clap for that?
Clap it
Clap
up.
for that.
Praise God.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
It's how is it to just be able to like walk in these things that you just maybe you didn't necessarily see, but it was like, oh, this will be cool, or this will be great, or if I could do this, and now you're actually like doing this stuff.
It's crazy, especially for me with the Star Spangled Banner thing. I keep telling people, like, before I move, I always wanted to do all 3 stadiums, but I literally spoke it on my birthday, like, I really want to do the Tigers game. And a week later, a lady at the church was like, hey, I need somebody to come do the Star Spangled Banner. I was like, nigga, I just told somebody I wanted to do this. And they texted me and said, you just said this at your birthday
That's
brunch.
crazy.
I was like, yep. But it's crazy. I've been trying to learn how to take it in and not move to the next thing. Like this morning, I was like, okay, before you get out of bed, like really process what's happening, because I really felt like this was a slow season with me trying to finish the album and trying to find direction and figure out my whole life. And it's like, well, even though it feels like a season of confusion, there's still things working in your favor. So it kind of just gave me a moment, like, just because it may seem weird don't mean this stuff is not working out. So that helped me. And then last but not least, my trainer said something to me over
Kev,
the
you be
weekend.
working out?
I do.
Oh, okay.
I feel it, bro.
I be in there.
Okay,
doing this
all right.
thing.
I don't
Sometimes
be
you
playing.
gotta punch niggas.
Gout, be gone. Sometimes you gotta punch niggas.
You gotta punch it.
But he said something to me. Something's crazy. Not something's wrong. Something's crazy with
Something's
you.
crazy.
But he said something to me. He said, "What are you fueling your body for to get done what you have to get done?" And then I seen a post where Steve Jobs had stated, one of his quotes was, "Eat what's going to heal you." And it really just made me look at my whole diet and say, is all of this food harming you or is it healing you? Like, what's giving you the properties to naturally heal and keep you away from like sickness and that stuff like that? So looking at that quote and then even thinking like on the spiritual level, like, okay, well, what also are you consuming like spiritually? So that's fueling you for the, the next day. And then of course I always talk about, me and drinking. And I was thinking like, the nights that you would really turn up, the next day you would be very like kind of groggy. I could still get up and function, but it was like, you consume so much of that it ran over into the next day where you probably would have been more productive in the morning versus you trying to take an Advil because you got a headache. So I've just been looking at everything like, no, what are you putting into your body that's fueling you for what you want to accomplish? So it's been I'm just trying to take everything in, and I honestly feel like now, I really do feel like that nigga.
And you are.
You are, bro.
I could finally humbly say that. Like,
Bro,
it's not a lot of people.
I don't know if you remember this. Years ago, we had a conversation. You were frustrated because he was like, it seemed like everybody getting called. It seemed
Especially
like
for that.
And it was just stuff. And you was like, bro, I feel like, and I think, because I understood it, but it was just like, you didn't curse it, but it was still just kind of like, you felt it. And it was just, it's so great to see it.
Yes.
It's so great to see it. It's just, it's not because mine is on the way. No. It's just when it's somebody who you're close to and you know their heart, when you know that they have been putting their all into this. Like if you were just one of them, like, oh yeah, you know what? I think I'm gonna be a singer, and then some stuff happened and it worked out for you. I'd be like, okay, he was lucky, but no. We can't count this for luck. Like we can't.
Yeah.
A nigga mind blown. But that's my TED talk. But I do feel like I had to tell my friend yesterday. I was like, I really do feel like that nigga. Respectfully, because sometimes when you try to be humble, you kind of like downplay, like, yeah, I know I can sing. No, nigga, I know I can sing.
Yeah, it's okay to be
Like,
confident.
I know it. Now I know it. You sing in an arena with acoustics bouncing back at you.
Most
in the
people
middle
can't
of-
sing in
One
this
little
room.
speaker in front of you.
How about
Okay.
the speaker wasn't
It
on?
wasn't on. I figured.
Wow.
So it's like you pushing through that and still trying to deliver something that would be memorable. And because they would ask me like, "Were you nervous?" I said, "No." I said I walked in there like I have something to prove today. I
did it,
have
bro.
something to freaking prove. But thank y'all. I'm doing well. How are you?
His transitions be crazy.
I don't got that much to say about I know, but I'm doing good.
That's good.
I'm
That's
doing good. I guess we've been on this journey for the last couple episodes. So this week is my last week in my current position.
Okay.
Anyway, so
Moving on up to the sun for the mountain.
Oh
What?
my God. Did you say the rough side of the mountain? Is that what you're
Moving
singing?
on up to the east side.
I was gonna say you said the east side.
East side of the mountain.
We no longer on the west side, y'all.
Yeah.
Oh.
Woo.
So how you feel transitioning from that position going into your new one?
So it's bittersweet. I'm definitely not like screw y'all. I'm out of here. I mean,
Right.
anyway, nope. but
But I get you.
yeah, but like I truly do love what I do.
Yeah.
I love what I do. I've always been about like growth, but I've also been about like the impact. Like I always wanted to leave an impact. No matter where I go, no matter what I do, I always want there to be an impact. And so it's really bittersweet because like I said, I love coaching or training, teaching people, building those relationships, setting a goal with people and then being able to help them accomplish that goal and seeing them grow. Like people coming up to me like, hey, I got 100% call scores this month and they was getting 70s last month. Like that's a big, like that's a win for me. You know what I mean? That's very fulfilling. So I love it. I am going to miss it, but I'm ready for what's next.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Yeah, the
for
pay
that.
raise.
Yeah, I do.
Of course.
I wouldn't miss nothing but
You
the
see,
bank
do you
statement.
see me river dancing right now? Do you see this?
Your feet not touching the ground.
I mean,
That's why it was a river dance. Okay, because if it was
You like
water,
one
I
of
would
the
have
little-
sank.
you like
You
one of
know
the
what I'm
little
saying?
kids play shower.
I'm gonna edit all that out.
no, you better show the river dance. Show the river dance.
No, I'm talking about his comment.
That's just how my brother. We go through this. I think every week we have a battle, a silent battle.
It's getting better.
It's not very silent. It's quite loud.
No, it's loud. It's loud.
It's stupid. Okay.
Well, no, that's great. That's
I done
fantastic.
moved on.
Just to moving on. We gonna get to
He
our
said, "Moving
guests. We're gonna get to them. I just wanted to, throw in just I'm happy for you.
Yes.
And
Thank
congratulations. And this ain't it.
Nope.
Because this ain't it. This ain't all that you see for yourself, right?
Right.
Exactly. So
Right.
this is just where you are right now. We thank God.
Will you be able to fix my phone?
Mighty God.
I'm not that type of IT.
She is not about to be in the middle of the mall fixing the iPhone.
I am not
screen.
Best Buy. Golly.
My
Geek
computer-
Apple
Squad.
Care.
Apple-
You the one that want to be Steve Jobs.
Now we're gonna move on.
Thank you, Steven. Steven died that I might live.
Oh my God. What in the shitting didn't?
You left something here for it. Jesus left the forgiveness of sin. You left Apple. Thank you, Steve. Who's next?
We all have to sacrifice and do
Something.
huh?
Something.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Mighty.
Because they still eating up your product.
All day,
Facts.
every day.
Facts.
Now that's a legacy.
I want to talk about. Well, we'll talk. I want to get with you first,
I want to say what?
and then because how you brought up as far as them still eating off of that. Like, I want to talk about because I was reading this thing about Michael Jackson's estate and like what's going on with it, and I don't know if you know much about it or any of that, but we could talk about it. Just your ideas on it. But I first want to get to
Grandson fighting the grandmama. This crazy.
listen. Crazy.
I'm surprised she's still alive.
Listen.
Longevity.
Listen.
She's
Okay.
not playing.
She was the
Thriller.
one that was right with God. She was just like, all right, y'all
Thriller.
go ahead and do this
Thriller.
performance stuff. She's still trucking along. But anyway, Craig,
Yes.
how are you?
I'm well.
That's
I'm
good. Just well. Just it's got to be more than well. You got a lot going on. You
Man,
working, Doc.
I will be honest. I was hit with some blows recently, professionally, and I'm just trying to recover from that. But all is well. I think God is going to do whatever He's going to do, and I just got to trust in Him and whatever
sure.
He's going to do. So I'm not even tripping about that. I'm really just like, just keep doing the work that I do, and everything gonna work out. That's where I'm at right now.
So for the people watching who don't know the work that you do, could you give us a little bit of your background?
Yeah, so I am a producer and a artist, and that's what I do professionally. And
Songwriter.
Yeah, I'm a songwriter too. So that's kind of what I do. Kevin and I are really like, we're like locked in. We're writing partners, and he does what he does, and then he brings it to me and say, hey, can you just make sure it's polished, this, that, and the third. So that's kind of really where I'm at in this season as a producer, is just putting polish on things that other people are creating, just to help them and make sure that what is going out is consumable for the population.
You said it in a very humble way. I would just want y'all to know, Craig does some great music in this city. So Kevin, I'm probably sure you know his catalog a little better than me as far as like artists that he's worked with and different
It's a
things.
bunch of us. Us.
Just name a few of. Can you just name a few of them?
Myself, all of the 5 for 5 artists, and it's been 2 of those. Lexi, Dorinda. I'm just naming
because Craig don't want to tell us. He just he
myself,
driving the humble
Jones,
trains.
Dina Lamone. I'm sorry, Dina Bass.
You went back to her maiden.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Dina Bass. It's a lot of them.
Disrespectful.
It's really a lot of people. My mind is just having a brain fart. His
right,
wife,
but
his wife's
for sure.
music,
Shout out to your wife. Shout out to your wife.
Yes, Pastor Dina.
At home, I call her Dana Mizell.
Hey, praise God. Praise God. Praise God. But no, it's so many. It's a lot of people. It's kind of hard to. I mean, it's a lot. Like, he really does polish a lot of people's
sound. Like
yeah.
I've heard demos of stuff, and then I've heard the after.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey.
Change was one of them. Change,
No,
he
that
really
was
came in and coached. Change would not be what it is if Craig had not came in with a broom and shovel. And it wasn't that it was bad, but Craig was like a very strong coach. And like, I don't even know what the right word is, like an architecture, whatever it is, the person that puts the blueprint down and say, do this.
Architect.
Him.
No, I mean, I will say working on Kevin's record, that was really the first time I've ever came into a project and had to like work with what was already there. And that actually laid the blueprint for what I like to do now, which is y'all do all arrangement stuff.
Got you.
I'll just come in, make sure y'all getting it done the way it should be. Let's polish it up. Okay. Make sure the musicians are playing it the way it should be played. I'm kind of out of the arrangement business.
But he can do it.
I can do it.
Very well.
Of course,
sure,
I can do it. But I'll be honest. I did the 5 for 5 live experiences, and that really took a lot out of me.
What do you mean by that?
It took a lot out of me from the standpoint of creatively. It poured everything I had, because it wasn't just we did one and then we came back 2 years later. We did one in September 22 and then came back in February. So you're talking about 5 months of you're talking about almost 1 year doing 2 full-length albums for 5 different artists on each one. Actually, it was 6 on the first one, and actually it was 6 on the second one because I included myself on the second one, and my wife was included as an artist on the first one.
Got you.
So to come back and do that, like, all my creative juice was kind of zapped. So like, that's why I'm in this season of, first and foremost, replenishing from a spiritual standpoint and from a creative standpoint. So immersing myself in a bunch of different other styles of music. And right now I'm just working on my own music. Like, I've kind of taken a step back from the whole label thing, and I'm just kind of working on the people who want to be worked on. So
that's good. That's
like,
good.
I'm out of the business of trying to I want to push people to where you want to go, but you have to want to be pushed. I'm not going to push people who are just like on the fence about what they want to do. I'm serious about what I do. You know, I'm in school again at Berkeley. So like, yeah, I mean, like this isn't anything I play with. So I'm tired of kind of, you know, pouring everything that I have into people who are not serious about it.
Absolutely.
So I'm really in a season now of, I know I'm serious. I know Kevin's serious. I know a couple of other artists I work with are serious. I know my wife is serious. So let's stick with what's
working. Yeah,
and what, you know, what's
we're going in this direction. Who all's going in this direction?
Exactly.
I feel it. I feel it. That's actually really, really dope. And I think that kind of like obviously speaks to the conversation we had before we started recording, as far as just like, I know for me, I was telling Kevin this, for me musically, I know I'm kind of going in a different direction because of that, understanding that, you know, some people who I'm very like, if you with me, you with me. So then, you know, I'm committed to you, but you also then have to start like making decisions. Okay, like you said, who's really ready to make this thing, or is like singing or music like a hobby for you?
Exactly.
Is it just something that you do on the side, or is this something that you just think about every day and you working on, and you know you pushing to go in that direction? So making those decisions, I understand, are very, very it could be very heavy.
Yeah, definitely.
It could be very heavy. So, and I think that's another reason for this podcast, when we bring guests on, to be able to share those sides of things as well. Because we always talk about the glitz and the glamour and you know, the reward, but we don't really talk about like, hey, this season I'm off this season. Like things ain't like the way they were or how I expected them to be.
Right.
But you know, I'm one of those people that believe when you're in those seasons to, you know, of course, count it all joy and look at it as, okay, well, maybe I poured all of this out because God was trying to show me what my true limits were. Maybe I wasn't supposed to gain anything financially from this, but I was supposed to gain this more self-awareness.
Absolutely.
So I applaud you for being transparent, and I applaud you for just still doing it. It's like it hasn't stopped for you though, because I go on Facebook and then we got videos. You got a project that you're working on. You got an event that's around the corner.
Yeah.
So let's before we get into that, I want to talk about the like beginning, I guess.
Okay.
You grew up in Detroit.
Well, sort of.
Oh, here they go. See, they be like sort of, and they grew up in Vancouver. But go ahead.
So I was born.
Vancouver.
I'm right, Vancouver. Like we Canadian now, West Coast Canadian too.
West Coast Canadian.
Not Toronto or Windsor. Like
What in the opposite
way.
He traveled. Okay.
Oh God.
Colder to cold.
So I was born. I'm a DMV baby.
Okay.
All right, so I was born in Baltimore.
Okay.
I never knew that. I thought you was from Flint.
No, so I came here.
No, he is.
If Flint
I
is not,
am.
because
I
if
am,
Flint
but
wasn't a
I'm not.
part of your story, I was about to cry. How did you get Flint?
That would have been a very random thing. I thought you
He
were from
said
Flint.
Baltimore. He said, "Nigga, I thought you said Flint."
That's what I'm saying. Like, I didn't know the DMV. I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. I done missed the chapter.
So not Michigan.
Okay, I'm back.
Baltimore, Michigan.
So
Baltimore.
I'm
I live in New Baltimore, nigga.
Oh God, that's funny.
Sorry,
So I'm
sorry.
a DMV baby.
Okay.
I was born in the DMV, and then my mother, she moved here when I was like 3, right?
Got you.
So I grew up over on 7 Mile in Livernois area, right?
Oh, what's that?
Yeah, I was over there. I was over there for a little while, and then she moved again. I'm a perfecting church baby.
Okay.
Okay. Like this stuff you,
teaching
don't know.
this? No.
Oh, I don't
That's
know
what I'm
this,
saying,
Kevin.
like, perfecting.
So I'm a
That's what I'm saying,
shout out to
Like,
Big
do you,
Mike.
do you tell this story often?
No.
And I think
That's what I'm saying, like-
and I think that's the thing. Like, there's I feel like, and I'm not trying to like call you old, but there are generations after you that know you but don't know nothing
For sure.
about you. So
I get it.
do you get you're not I'm not
No,
trying to,
it's not. He real.
like I want them to know.
I know, my friend. What you saying?
I said I'm talking about the people like
know I'm
younger.
being a-
Yeah, I asked. Yes.
I'm being you.
Yeah. Ooh, that's funny.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, no, because I really want people to know this. I mean, obviously, I want to know, but people should know this. Like, they should know that story. So you said perfecting.
I was a perfecting church baby. So from the time I was 3 until about I think 8 or 9, I grew up in perfecting.
Okay.
I'm also a Peace Baptist Church baby.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. So my mother, she was a minister of music herself.
Gotcha.
So I come from a musical family on my mother's side.
Okay.
Your mama was a minister.
Yeah, she was the minister of music.
They
at
have known
Peace
each other for
Baptist Church
15 years.
a long time.
Never talked about
She
history.
was we just work. It's fine.
That's
Mind
it.
blown.
I don't care
I
nothing
didn't know
I don't
that.
care
I didn't
nothing
know
about your
Kevin
house.
went to DSA until like 3 years ago. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
We've been working for a long time.
They get in the studio attitudes like, hey, I don't want to hear none of that. Get to work. Hey, leave your problems at the door.
Get your pens and papers.
Personal life.
He didn't know his last name till the album cover came out.
Stewart, nigga?
Stewart?
Who is Stewart?
You're a junior? A junior? Nigga, I thought you was the original.
I am so. I'll take it back. Okay, please keep going. I want to learn
all
more.
right. So, perfecting Peace Baptist. My mother she was a minister of music. My grandmother, she used to sing with this group. Y'all definitely not gonna know this, but it was this group in New York.
Oh yeah, I definitely don't know.
In New York called the Otterbach Chorale, and they were really famous on the Utterbach. So Utterbach.
I thought he said
Otterbach. I did too. I said, wait a minute.
They invented the phone cases.
Transformers.
That is hilarious.
Kevin was gonna be like,
iPhone cases.
So that's kind of like the history that goes back, and
As far as your family.
as far as my family with that. Okay. So my mother, she was a part of Perfected Praise and this and that third. So I grew up learning professionalism
Yes.
in music around that church
Yes.
because it was one of the churches in city of Detroit other than Greater Grace that had all professional musicians that played.
Gotcha.
So
it wasn't just growing up you didn't just grow up in a church that just had people who could play organ and drums.
Exactly.
No. That's a different caliber of musician.
exactly. So I was always around like this musical excellence when it came to church. So it wasn't until later on that I started seeing like just the one person on the organ and somebody on the drums if they had them. But yeah, I played the drums. That was where I started. And actually Mario Winans, shout out to Mario Winans, shout out to Dana Davis. They're the ones that taught me how to play the drums.
Got you.
From a young age. So I had the bug, but they kind of like cultivated that. We moved to Flint when in like I think my 3rd or 4th grade year. And then that's when Flint took over. Flint is a different animal because there are so many beasts in Flint, singers,
Yeah.
instrumentalists, musicians, whatever. Mainly that. It was some dope producers up there. I mean, you had when I was coming up, you would have Rudolph Stansfield would be in Flint. Dana Davis was in Flint for a period of times. They all would be at Harris Memorial Temple up there. So that was again. I'm still around all of these excellent musicians.
You get this experience.
You know, all these excellent musicians, and then I have friends like Sam Doan, who plays at Greater Grace now. He was really influential. So. And then I had a rivalry with Dorico Lloyd because we was both drummers. And I'm like a couple of years younger than him, but I was always sweeter than him. Yeah, I said it. I was sweeter than him.
We're going to tag you.
yeah.
Okay.
So he'll always challenge me on that, but he knows what it was. But but yeah, that's my guy, and we grew up just, you know, pushing each other. And even, you know, I moved to Detroit, and then I found out Rico moved to Detroit, and it was just like, oh, this is great. This is a brotherhood, and we always have been able to push each other. But going back to Flint, you know, I grew up in the suburbs out there in this city called Grand Blanc.
Okay.
But, you know, always being surrounded around great musicians, great music. And where I really started like kind of going to the next levels when I got into the Church of God in Christ. At El Shaddai Church of God in Christ up there in Flint. And it was just like, oh, okay, whoa, these guys, they're like next level. So that's kind of how I just started getting pushed into music. And then I wound up moving back. No, I didn't move down here, but I started playing for a church. When I turned about like 16, I started playing for Cadish Baptist Church over on Plymouth. And I was playing there for like 2 years, going back and forth from football practice after school to rehearsal.
You played football, nigga?
I played varsity football. I was honorable mention in the state of Michigan. I was a shot put thrower, went to state finals. I threw like 55. I think it was 55, 9.5.
So
and shot put. I'm an athlete as well.
I'm about to say, so
Yeah.
so you could have possibly gone the athletic route.
Yeah, I could have went to athletic. I had a scholarship to Wayne State, Saginaw Valley. It was another school, I can't remember, but I think it might have been like Northwood or something like that. But and one of the schools was going to allow me to still play at church and do football, because on Sundays you do your conditioning and stuff like that. But I was just like, man, forget all that. I'm not driving up to Saginaw and then have to come back
for church. Yeah,
No, I'm not doing that. So that was kind of like my whole matriculation, and then I think about 13. I was at El Shaddai, and I always tell this story. Shout out to
2013 or age 13?
age 13.
Okay.
Because
that matters.
Yeah.
I was like, wait.
So age 13, I was like, yo, I want to start playing the piano, and I'm done with the drums. And I literally, the day I decided I was going to stop playing drums and be a piano player, that's when it happened. And I stopped. I didn't touch the drums anymore, like in any kind of capacity. So that was it.
So you gave us a lot to work with.
A whole lot. Yep.
But I thank you because you really got the opportunity to speak on something that I want to touch on this episode, as far as like branching out and being able to be your fullest self. You have to be in different environments.
Absolutely.
Staying in the same environment, you get the same results.
Yep.
And that goes for anything. A lot of times we try to get advice for ourselves and our own situations from these people who are not us and don't operate like us and don't think like us. Yep. And so if you would have stayed in a lot of those situations, if you would have, grown up in a church where maybe it was just somebody grandma on an organ and somebody you just playing on drums, you may not have been able. I know you wouldn't have had that, at least that knowledge. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. So first of all, that is fantastic. I know everybody doesn't get that opportunity, but if you're watching and you do want to take anything you're doing to the next level, I would advise you to check your atmosphere, check your environment, and see what you can tweak. Because if you want to be a millionaire, you got to be around millionaires.
Absolutely.
Because if not, you just hang around thousandaires and you'll be a thousandaire.
$1 million baby.
$1 million baby, or They Not Like Us. Which one is more in your spirit?
They not like us.
They Not Like Us.
Yep.
Okay.
I don't know that $1 Million baby.
It's something about it. It's catchy than the mud. Me either.
And then it be on my feed all day.
All day.
They Not Like Us is taking over, and it's a big separation. Like They Not Like Us.
No, I feel it.
They not.
I feel it. You elitist niggas.
Right.
They're not like us. They're peasants.
It's dumb.
Did y'all have any questions? I'm sorry, I didn't want to cut y'all off.
I want to go back to the 5 for 5 thing, because when I thought about it, when you said you were depleted afterwards, I could understand why, because nobody's song sounded the same. So how did you do? Where was your mental space? I know it was for me. It was easy writing the 5 different songs. And I think I only wrote 5 on the first one, and then the other ones. Did I write more than that? Well, did we write more than that?
Big God.
That was on the first one?
No, it was the second one I'm talking about.
The first one, Let God In.
Let God In.
I didn't write Bobo's second song. Yep, Say Yes.
The Psalms 100.
Yep. Jesus.
What's Jesus?
John's song.
Oh yeah, I Believe in You.
Niggas will make up a whole.
That's fine. I knew what you meant too.
Jesus, I Believe in You. It was something else.
You want on Miracles.
I'll help write the ending of
Were you on Promise Keeper?
I think the ending maybe. Don't quote me, John. Sorry, I thought I wrote something at the end of it. But how did you do that? Because now that I think about it, like that was a lot.
It was a lot. It was a lot. So yeah, because people asked me last year in October or rather in August or so last year, like, are you doing your event? And I'm like, what? No, like that was just like that was what it was, and it's not like I won't do 5 for 5 again. But it was a lot, and so how I really approached it was like more on the level of who's the artist I'm dealing with. And I think that's what a lot of producers miss it, and arrangers. And I gotta specifically say arrangers because, you know, let's be clear, an arranger and a producer are not the same thing.
Not at all.
So, and people really don't understand that. They'll be like, oh yeah, I did all the music for what's the name? I produced that. Hold on, did you finish the record? Were you the one sitting in the mixing sessions? Did you go to the mastering session?
Yeah.
Did you enter all the metadata and make sure it was uploaded? Then you're not the producer. You're just the person who did the music.
Yeah.
So, like,
There you guys go. In case you were wondering. No, because that is a misconception.
it's
We see it a
huge
lot.
misconception.
Know who you are.
Yeah, like and if you're not in like the gospel realm or something like that, beat makers, those are not producers. You're a beat maker.
Yeah.
Producer, like Timbaland might have produced a record for somebody and got the beat from another beat maker.
Absolutely.
And then he flipped some things with the beat and this da 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 da. Okay, yeah, you made the beat and you're gonna be included on the publishing, but you ain't.
So you're kind of like the last line, yeah, to kind of like
You're the
fine tweak
person,
everything.
You deliver the masters.
Okay.
That is what a producer is supposed to do. So if you're not the one getting the masters to the artist or to the record label, then you're not a producer. You're an arranger. So from an arrangement standpoint, you know, I felt like, you know, I have to look at each artist individually. You can't look at the artist and say, well, just go with my style, with my whatever I do. Yeah, I'm gonna put my flair on it, you know, whatever. Mizell is gonna be on it, but at the end of the day, you have to be like conscious of who the artist is, what their sound is, and what would work for them. So
not pushing your own agenda.
Not pushing your own agenda.
Gotcha.
So, you know, and I there in some cases you have to as a producer.
Right.
But most of the time you have to like sit back. And I had an artist I was working with, and I did do that with them on one of their records. And then I had to step back and say, all right, you got to make this sound more like this person.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad I had that artist to say, all right, let me give him the room to grow as a producer. So, you know, but when you're arranging, you have to definitely, like with Kevin's record, it was good that he worked with Bernard, he worked with you on getting the record to where it sounds like him. Then now I can come in and say, all right, now let's polish this up.
Gotcha.
And that's why I was saying, like, that was the first time I actually had done that, and it grew me as a producer. Like,
Was that
something
like more like it was, of course, producing, but like consulting too, right?
Yeah,
Gotcha.
absolutely. So, you know, Kevin was just like, can you just come in and blah, blah, blah. I was like, absolutely, no problem. You know, because I wanted, the one thing is Kevin and I have been working at that point for almost like 3 or 4 years, maybe. Or how long was it? What year was that?
That was like
That was
2019.
19.
Yeah, we have been working since 2015. The first track on my computer that I got where we wrote something together or we
Was
did something,
2015?
maybe 14.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it was around then. Was it before that?
It felt like it was.
I don't know. We've just done a whole lot of stuff though, Kevin.
When did you get to Triumph?
2013.
So then, because I think you were the reason that I got the chance to even start working there.
Got you. So
Didn't even know
2013.
Like, you know me, nigga? Okay.
So yeah, so like working with him up until that point, man, I was just, you know, just doing stuff. And, you know, I always say that you should always be learning. I just learned something in school that's called growth mindset versus a fixed mindset.
Absolutely.
And the growth mindset, you're going to, let me start with a fixed mindset. Fixed mindset, oh yeah, I know that already. Oh yeah, I'm good. Ooh. Oh yeah, no, I did that. No, I do that. I know that. I already got that. Growth mindset is, all right, I'm learning what this person has to give to me, and then now I can move on and be like, okay, I know that a little better. Yeah. But now, who's the next person I can learn even more about this situation
Absolutely.
from?
Gotcha.
So
Absolutely.
each situation you go into, you should be learning something. You should never walk into any situation and be like, I got it. So even from Kevin being younger than me, I've learned stuff from him. I've learned stuff from you just watching you from afar. Like, I don't ever walk into any situation, whether it's a concert, whether it's a meeting, whether it's anything, anywhere I go, I'm looking to learn. I might walk into McDonald's and be like, oh, dang, that's something that I can learn from. Boom, right there. How that person treated them. Oh, I don't want to treat them like that. Like, it could be something small like that. But you should always be trying to grow. And I really fear that we've come into a season where people are in a space of, I know it. I got that. I know this. And you don't. Because there's stuff that I'm learning in school that I thought I actually knew. This barber finally calling me back after I called him 5 times trying to get a haircut. Anyway,
I can't stand that.
I can't stand that. Like, so no, I found somebody. God bless.
Thanks.
Anyways, so
He checking his appointment, nigga.
oh, what was I saying?
But as far
walking into rooms, just being open to learning.
Being open to learn, you gotta be open to learning, and it's time out for people to just stop thinking that they know exactly everything that they're doing. The class that I'm in is a music business class. There's stuff, most all this stuff I already know. Like, I already know. But then when I actually start reading what the teacher's giving me, when I actually start listening to his lectures, I'm like, oh, dang, I didn't know I could do that.
Absolutely.
Though. I didn't know I could do that.
Yeah.
But I know people that they would have walked in class and been like, man, I know this already, man. Let me just skip over this. And they'll do the assignment and it be wrong.
yeah.
Right. And you done failed the test.
You done failed the test. Because you don't know everything.
And that takes a level. That takes a level of humility to be able to go into something that you may have been doing for 20 years and take a back seat.
Absolutely.
And just be like, let me get a little bit more information about this, because we live on Earth. Things are forever changing.
Yep.
Things are always morphing. Yes, there are basic principles that everything is kind of founded on, that obviously God put in place, but things like they change. And so it's a lot of times, that's why I say you gotta like go out and get more information and talk to different people and really try to work on yourself to be a better person, or you'll end up sounding like you did 10 years ago. Absolutely. And as a producer, I'm pretty sure you don't want to sound dated.
Definitely.
Because who's working with you? You sound like this 2005 because you haven't graduated from that mindset.
I will tell you, the biggest thing that I respect out of producers is when you don't even know that they produced it. I love that. The reason why is because it shows your versatility. Yeah. It shows that you have range. Yeah. It shows that you don't have just one sound, one set of sounds. If we're talking about in a tangible way, you don't have a set of like sounds that you always use. So even right now in this season, I'm like transforming my sound because I used a lot of it in the last season. That is so now good. I have to transform my sound and become something new. So then people don't even know that it's me. Really, honestly, a lot of the times with a lot of stuff, people probably wouldn't know that I produced it if I didn't put my company and my name on it, because I'm trying to help promote it. You know what I'm saying? So, recently I just did Carlos Whitlow's single.
Fire.
So did Carlos Whitlow's single, and they had already pretty much came up with the arrangement. I came into rehearsal, gave them a couple little points. Same thing I did with Kevin. Gave them a couple little pointers. Like, hey, do this, try this, boom, boom, boom. They played it. I got the files, did what I did to make it be commercial enough to put out. Like, but that's it. And so, you know, I want to be that guy where, like, Aaron Lindsay is one of my favorite producers of all time.
The GOAT.
He did India Arie's last album. Most people wouldn't even know that.
What?
Now I have to go listen to it.
I did not know that.
He did India Arie's record.
One,
The very last record she just did.
That's fire.
He
I did not
produced
know that.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, you want to be that producer where you're making money and people don't even know that you're making it.
is Aaron and Aaron the same person?
No, that's
Aaron is James Fortune's guy.
all right.
Aaron Lindsay is the
Israel
bald-headed.
Holden, Marvin Sapp.
I was going to say Marvin Gaye. I'm going to say, and he did.
We're getting ready to take a break, guys, and we'll be
Are you
back
crazy?
with more Craig Mizell after this message.
All right, what's up, dreamers? It's your girl Chrissy back with another small business shout out. All right, so we have Blair, Bobby, and Bellamy, the owners of the Be Sweet Lemonade Factory. Now, y'all, let's take a minute and appreciate the fact that the oldest one is 8 years old. Okay, they get into it early, all right? So they make and sell lemonades, blackberry, strawberry, peach, lavender, you name it. So go ahead and hit up our girls. Let's see, their contact number is 586-506-1906. If you want to hit them up to support their small business, we would appreciate it. Tell them the Dream Lab sent you.
What's up, everybody? Listen, for all of our small businesses, all of our entrepreneurs, listen, we have an opportunity for you to. We want to shout your business out for free right here on the Dream Lab podcast. All you have to do is send us an email with information about your business, your social handles, all of that stuff. If you want to send us a sample, that would be great too. But anyway, we're going to shout your business out for free right here on the podcast, just like how this advertisement is in the middle of the episode. Your advertisement for your business can be in the middle of this episode. So all you got to do is send us an email to dreamlabpod@gmail.com. Jax, I'm trying to record a video, bro. That's right. Send us an email to dreamlabpod@gmail.com, and we will respond if we need any more information, or we will respond and let you know what episode that your advertisement will be on. So make sure that you take advantage of this, because this opportunity, this free opportunity, it's not going to last long. So get it in while you can. All right. Enjoy the rest of the episode.
Was two things I wanted to ask.
Okay.
Well, I wanted to ask the questions and I'll say my last statement. I know you were saying, Craig, that you want to you're reinventing your sound and finding.
Yeah, we're good. I'm sorry.
We good?
Yeah.
Oh, I know that you said that you were reinventing yourself and trying to tamper with different sounds.
Yeah.
But is that hard though? Because I know when I hear a Pharrell record, it don't matter who.
Yeah, you know it's for real.
I know it's for real. Like the song, he did some stuff with Ariana Grande. When I heard it, I said Pharrell had to do this. Or the Lemonade joint with Rihanna, I knew he did it. Any Rodney Jerkins song, I know he's on it. Any Dawkins and Dawkins, Eric Dawkins, if he produced it or vocal produced it, I know it. So how, like, is it more so you're trying to sample or tap into other sounds while still having the Craig thing? Because I always say that in the studio.
Right.
I'll be like, put the Craig thing on it, because it's like this, I can't really describe it, but he has a way that you be like, oh, that's Craig. Or I feel like that's Craig. And that's even on the churchy side, or it could be a song with a go-go beat. There's something that you put on it that is like a signature. So do you think you're more so trying to come away from the signature to reinvent yourself, or just trying to try other sounds? I don't know if that's making sense. Because it was a different Rodney with Full Moon than it was with MJ's last album.
Yeah.
Facts.
So is it more so like that?
So this the thing. Like, I have this saying that that you should enhance. So enhance what it is that you do. Become better at what it is that you actually do. Then you should innovate. So you take other things that maybe exist already and you make it into your own.
Gotcha.
But then the next thing you need to do is evolve. So enhance, innovate, evolve. So it's an order of how you do that, because I think I'm at the evolution point right now, because I have to start evolving into something else. And it's really more so based on the fact that I have done so much music. Like, y'all be saying it, like I still have songs from 5 for 5 that have not been released yet, but I released, like, just this year alone, I think I did at least 2 releases a month. And Yeesh. Like, that's of singles, of whole albums. Like, so it's so much music I still have to release off of what the sound was. On top of that, now I'm working on my own record. Shout out to Big God. It's been real good for us.
Yeah.
So like, I really just like had a thought to just like, all right, well, Big God did all right, and it showed me like, okay, you can kind of do the kind of almost DJ Khaled kind of producer, songwriter.
DJ who?
Khaled.
Ain't it Khaled? You talking about
tomato.
Potato.
I never heard of DJ Khaled.
Never heard potato either.
Applicable.
Right.
Okay, it works.
You know what he was talking about.
No, I didn't know. I was like, is there somebody new that I never heard of?
So like, okay, yeah, Craig, you can pull it together. I think more so 5 for 5 showed me that, like, especially the second one. The first one, I didn't host it. I wasn't on the mic that much. The second 5 for 5, it was like, all right, Craig, let people see your personality. Let people know that you can do a little bit of singing. You're not a singer, but you can do a little bit of singing. I'll tell y'all a funny story. I was 13 years old. And my mother was at this church, and I had brought in her Korg Triton Pro X. Okay, that was the flagship keyboard that you had back in, I think that might have been 99. So I brought in 99, 2000. I brought in I had produced out this whole entire youth service. But I was the lead singer on the whole thing. Like, but I could sing. Like, when I was a kid, my voice was higher and I could hit some of them notes. I think I'm a good B flat at best right now is my high note. Okay. I could get like a whole E flat to F when I was that age. So I had a pretty good voice. I had the whole Chainbreaker record was out then. Like,
Dietrich Haddon, right?
Dietrich Haddon. I produced the whole thing. All I needed was a drummer. I had the bass on there, the keys, all of the horns, everything. It was whole thing was produced out. And they told me, yeah. So long story short, the whole thing, we did the whole service. Everybody liked it. It was cool. Cool. Next year, I'm like, yeah, so I'm ready, like, yeah, let's do a whole nother. He's like, I think we want to do something different this year. I was like, oh. Excuse me.
Cut you in half.
Oh. So that was my last time singing. I was done. I was done.
Craig said, y'all done took my voice.
Y'all was done. So I didn't go more after that. So I ain't leading worship. I ain't doing nothing no more. Wow. So I say that to say, one, watch what you say to, like, don't think just because they 13, 14, they ain't grown. They're still children. Watch what you say because you will kill somebody's spirit about something.
Absolutely.
Now, gratefully, I didn't let somebody kill my spirit about playing. There's another thing. I was 13 again. Still 13. Same year. This happened. Okay, it was a year of rejection. No, year of rejection. So I was 13. I was playing at a church, and I told the pastor, I don't want to play the drums anymore. I was playing the drums for the church. I don't want to play the drums anymore. I want to play the piano. And he says to me, well, I don't need a piano player. I need a drummer. When I tell you I cried, he's like, no, and not just that, I need a drummer. So this can just be your last day. He fired me at 13 as a 13-year-old. Instead of just saying, let's cultivate your gift. Let's cultivate
Approaches
the
everything.
gift, and you keep playing the drums for me, and let's cultivate that because I know that you probably do got that in you. Until this day, that same pastor now will come to me. Well, God rest his soul, he done passed away.
I was
I
gonna
thought
say
it'd
you're
be like-
producing and he's dead.
But he like, and so
Night-night.
he would come to me.
He's
So
not
he
coming
would
to you
see me
anymore.
he would see me on the Word Network, and he would be like, "Yo, man, I told everybody that Craig was gonna be a phenomenal player.
Boy, I always knew.
You lying ghost.
Lying."
I thought you was about to say goat.
You lying ghost.
So no, but I say that I really like, so that's why I got such a heart for kids that are that age now, because I'm like, yo, y'all gotta stop telling kids you can't do something. No, they can do it. Just let them know you need to cultivate that.
Yeah.
That's important.
Stop shutting people down just because they might not be where they need to be for you. Like they still have something they can offer, and then watch out. Because when they 30 something,
I'm telling
and
you,
you need them.
Because you going to be in the same place that you was.
Yeah.
So
In the
yeah,
casket.
man. So that's the whole thing, man. You know, really being cognizant of how you do with people. So now getting back, I stopped singing when I was 13, 14. And so now I'm just like, man, I'm about to use my voice, and I'm about to probably start working with Kevin on my vocals to try to, like, cause control and breathing and stuff like that. I don't know nothing about it anymore because I know it to teach people, to teach choirs and stuff like that.
You do really well with like getting singers and stuff together.
With singers and stuff like that, I can do that, backgrounds and working with choirs and stuff like that. But for myself, it's a whole total different thing. Like I can tell people that, but then I'd be like, yeah, because I don't sing. And I'll be sometimes, I always be making fun of singers like, why y'all sitting up here tripping? You can't breathe. What was you talking about? You can't breathe. What you talking about? You need to stop between the takes. What did you talk? Until I got into the studio last week recording my own stuff.
Your turn.
And I had turned on the air. What y'all talking about? You need to turn the air off. What you talking about? And my voice started drying up. I was like, oh, hold on.
Oh no, reverse.
Okay.
Roles reversed.
So
Checkmate.
Cough.
So it's a whole, and again, growth mindset, not being afraid. Like he's been working with me since you were like, what, how old were you in
Probably like
2013?
23. I think Yes had just came out or something.
He was
And
early
that's how we
20s.
connected. Yeah.
Early
I was about
20s.
22, 23.
Okay.
And so, he's always looked up to me for stuff. And now I'm going to be looking to him. Like, I need your help. Like, he's going to be vocal producing me.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing, man. People got to learn how to, like, when it's time to let other people drive the car for a minute because you're trying to get somewhere and you don't know how to get there.
Yeah.
So you need to get with somebody who knows how to get you there. So, man, again, growth mindset and being open to being taught.
That is so good. I think so many people, I think once we get out of school, we say, okay, that's all the learning I'm doing. Bible says remain teachable.
Yep.
And we decide that, okay, well, now the learning is over. Now I'm going to get a job. Now I'm going to work. And then you just kind of like, what I'm learning now that I'm learning, like relearning some stuff, I'm learning that some of the stuff I was taught in school, home, church, whatever, some of it wasn't true. A lot of it wasn't true. I was given someone else's perspective. I was given someone else's limitations, someone else's insecurities, right? And we'll take that on and that'll be our identity. And so that's why when people stay, I'm not saying like leave your family, but the Bible does say, when you get married to leave, because a lot of times you end up just like those people and you don't grow, you don't branch out, you don't try new traditions with your new family. You're doing the same stuff that your family did generations and generations, and we don't understand why. Oh, we always did it that way. If you want something different, you got to do something different, and it's going to hurt. It's going to be uncomfortable. I'm pretty sure this season right now is uncomfortable for you. This is not new. This is new. This is not something that you're used to doing. And I applaud you just for reinventing yourself. A lot of people reinvent themselves, they won't reinvent themselves because they're worried about what people are going to say.
Exactly.
And if you are worried about what people are going to say, it's going to ruin your life. Because it doesn't sound like you're trying to reinvent yourself for people. You reinvent yourself, or even finding you're going back to your true self. Because like you said, you were singing when you were younger. You see what I'm saying? So I'm even in that season now where I'm tapping into some of the stuff that I was doing. Like the church isn't where I started music, but that's where my gift like really like enhanced. But I was, in jazz band. I was, I had done R&B cover projects and all that stuff. That's what I wanted to do. I didn't necessarily want to be like Chris Brown or nothing like that. But I mean, I grew up listening to Michael Jackson and Stevie Wonder. That was my biggest musical influences. So I wanted to, that was my vibe. I got into church and, that atmosphere, you don't bring outside anything to what we already got going on. This is what we do. And so you adapt. And there's nothing wrong with learning and adapting when you're in certain situations. But I think when it becomes now your identity, and I found myself being stuck, like, why doesn't this feel comfortable? Why doesn't this feel right? I feel like I got to think like somebody else to accomplish something. But then when I tap into my true self, it's easy. It may be uncomfortable. It may be, because you have to go back to that place when you were a kid, when you would just try anything. Like it didn't bother you when you were a teenager, preteen. Like you weren't worried about people so much. Right. You were just really just like, hey, this is what I love to do. I'm gonna do it. I'm pretty sure a lot of them days you sounded crazy. If you could be a fly on the wall, I'm pretty sure. But now it's just like we are very afraid. We're very afraid to move to the next level, do something different, try something else. And that first thing you got to do is just release that care of what people are going to say, because they're going to say.
For sure. Yeah.
They're going to talk.
I mean, it's a social media. It's a social media thing. For me, what I've seen, like when social media really came into this really thing, everybody's like, I'm a brand. I'm a brand. Huh? Like,
you're not even accountable.
I feel you if you're at a place where you need to develop your brand, and but you got people building brands before they've even built their skill.
You have no discipline.
You have no discipline. You're not seasoned in what you're doing, and you trying to talk about, I got a brand. What are you talking about? You've done nothing to talk about, I need to worry about what I'm doing and this, that, and the third. So you so worried about everything everybody got to say. And I tell artists this all the time. Why won't you do this song? Why won't you do it? Because I just don't know. It doesn't blah, 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 blah. Let me tell you something. Ricky Dillard did not want to do Amazing. He didn't want to do it.
Really?
Facts.
He did not want to do that song.
Didn't somebody bring it to him?
Tiff Joy and them, and what's the name of them brought it to him. Donald Lawrence, I believe that's how the story goes, heard the song and was like, yo, you need to do that.
The night she did the recording, Donald was there. That was when Latter Rain signed their contract to do the Latter Rain album with them. And he was it was on a small church, and she ate that song.
So if you don't take the step, and I say that to like congrats and salute to Ricky Dillard for saying, you know what, let's just go ahead and do it.
Yeah. I'm
because
just gonna try.
It transformed his whole entire career, and put him at a different level where people are like, oh, he was a choir master, but now he's the choir master. Exactly. And like, if you don't take those chances, and it's such a shame that we go from a space of preteens and into your, and even earlier than that into, 14, 15, where you're willing to take all of these chances musically, even just certain things, just period, that you'll take chances on. And then you get to the space where you allow people to close you off to what it is that is in you is what you can do. Yeah. And
that's the real sin.
It is. It's so terrible, man. And we just let people, and then again, going back to social media has even further done that to people because, I gotta watch my brand, and I gotta this, that, and the third. You wouldn't believe how many people I've asked to collaborate, and they talking about, I gotta watch my brand. Bro, Nobody knows you. I'm trying to help you.
First, so they can get to know you, then you can work around all that other
I'm
stuff.
trying to help you. So,
business.
it's the weirdest thing to me. It's funny how many people I asked to do 5 for 5 the first time.
Right.
That I didn't have a fifth artist until like a month before the session. We had to write the last 2 songs for that artist in the last week or so, before the session. I had to produce it, track it, get all of the vocals done. That's what I'm saying. Don't be talking about you a producer and you can't do a record in 30 days, a whole full length album in 30 days. Don't talk to me if you can't get a record last minute that the artist want to change and you get everything done for that song for somebody's whole record in a week. Like, that is the speed you need to work at if you're talking about I'm a professional producer. I do this for a living, this, that, and the third, whatever.
Got you.
Like, that goes with the territory.
So are people working out here? Like, are they putting the work in?
There are. I'll save the names to protect the innocent, but
Yeah, we don't have to say the names.
there are some really awesome producers, especially like in the Detroit metro area, and they are doing the work to go to the next level. But then you have some people who are like, for instance, you are one of those people that I know put in the work to make sure. I've been to your 90s concert where it's like, yo, we're doing covers, but we gonna make sure like they are.
It's a show.
It's a show. Like, it's going to be a whole entire professional put together thing. Like, you could have took that around the country doing that. Like, real talk. Because it's polished. It's so many people out here that are just not polishing what they're doing. They're just putting out what they're doing. They don't care. Like, it's a reason why records take as long as they do. It's a reason why people do. Don't think that your favorite artist just dropped a record. Because they don't. That's
been worked on.
False. Like, Beyonce putting out a record and saying that it's it. Don't think that she just woke up 2 weeks ago and said, all of y'all come in the studio and let's do these records.
Nah.
No, Beyonce worked on that. She shock dropped y'all because she can do it. But before that, and
3
even
years.
now, it's time that goes into that. Even rolling out a record. Like, I've had artists that have tried to rush me like, oh, we need to that. First of all, the first thing about putting out a record is having good product. Putting out a record and thinking your name is going to carry it is the dumbest thing you can do. If it isn't good,
Especially
it's not
in
going to
today's
go.
time.
Especially now.
It's too much music. It's too much
I will
content.
skip over your record. So you have to have good product.
Yes.
You have to. Kevin been done with his stuff for a little while now. Sorry to put all your business out there. But Kevin been done with some of his music for a while now. But Kevin is going to release it when Kevin is ready to release it.
Yeah.
Kevin's going to release it when the timing is right. Kairos, when all of the things line up and match an opportune time for a certain event to happen.
Absolutely.
So if I have a record, if I have the budget for it, I have to make sure that I'm calling, getting interviews set up. I have to make sure that the marketing materials are all right. I have to make sure that the video that I have going with it, even if we're not releasing it the same day as the record, it has to be ready. So then I can start promoting that as soon as we're done putting out the record. Okay, like, these are things that artists don't think about. These are things producers don't think about. Younger producers don't think about. There is an order to how these things go. And yeah, you can break the order, but I don't know how much success you're going to have.
Right.
So, there are a lot of great people that are doing the work, but there are a lot of people that are skipping steps and think that they're going to get success with it, and it just doesn't work like that.
I think the further that we get away from quality anything, the more accessible trash is to us. So
Yeah.
so like like you mentioned, our concerts and stuff like that. I grew up watching Michael Jackson concerts. Like I studied them without knowing I was studying them. Like I just watched them.
Yeah.
I watched like the professionalism, the wardrobe changes, and how he didn't have to cue anybody. They knew the music.
Yeah.
I don't have to tell you 3 parts. Y'all know when 3 parts come in. This we doing this like the record. I know they're playing the song like the song and not just all over the place.
Yeah.
The drummer's in the pocket the whole show.
Yep.
You 2.5 hours just up in
Yep.
pocket. It's not about you.
Yep.
So you know that there's a love with it. I think that now there's just a lot of, because like social media, we can just put out and people are like, oh, I can relate to that. So then they listen to it. So then I think it's more about relatability than it is the quality and a lot of the stuff that we're consuming. And I think that that's a blessing and a curse, because I think it does allow people who may not have the budget, who may not have the opportunities at some, to really get pushed out there and because they're well deserving of that, because they're talented at least, right? But I think that also, like you said, people just skipping steps. They like, oh, I don't have to do this. I don't have to do. People don't do artist development anymore.
Yeah. People
not working on their interview skills. That's why they be on at the Breakfast Club, just sitting there looking crazy when they be asking these questions. And I'm like, oh, y'all don't know how to like speak, and y'all don't know how to perform. There's no stage presence, and the rappers are rapping off time. Like, well, I'm sorry, there's no metronome on this beat? Like, what's going on? And we just accept it, and so. I don't fear that the future of music is universal, and I believe that it's one of those things that's going to be here a lot longer than we are.
Yeah.
The ocean creates music, so I think that the future isn't like, I'm not fearful of it, but I do think that we just got some stuff that we need to kind of overcome, and so that was my serious moment of the episode.
Hold on, I'm gonna add one more thing to that.
Okay.
And a thing that we've gotten away from is rehearsal.
Oh
Yes.
my God.
Rehearsal
Yes.
is so incredibly important. And I will let me give y'all an example. Okay. I just recently did something. I'm not gonna say what it is, but I just recently did something.
He'll tell us after we get
and
on recording.
oh yeah, definitely. When we're off air, I will tell you. So we just recently did something, and me, this is me now having to be self-aware of my own, like, oh yeah, we got it. No, you don't. Cause it didn't go over the way it was supposed to, because I said, as the music director, was like, y'all, we'll be fine. Just show up. Make sure y'all know the material, and we'll be fine. We'll have rehearsal during sound check. That's a cardinal sin, and I know that. I know that. I know
that's a recipe for disaster.
That. But I was like, we got people coming from all over, and this, that, and the third. And the thing is I don't trust nobody but God. Let me tell you something.
So if I say learn this music,
and if I say
That
learn
is
this
so
music,
good.
I
don't
need
trust
to.
nobody but God.
I should have known better. Don't leave people learning music, because we have such robust and lives now as human beings.
yeah,
It's so when you were able to send back in the 80s, all right, everybody come to rehearsal, get this cassette tape, and then by the time we have rehearsal in 2 weeks, y'all need to learn this music. People would put that cassette tape in, they be riding the rehearsal. I remember my mother getting the music from Perfecting Church and Perfected Praise, and they be like, okay, we doing this song and blah, blah, blah. Okay, I can go get that in the store. Okay, she go and get the CD, or so go get the cassette tape. And she would be in the car listening to her music. She get the rehearsal. She know the parts already. She good to go. She could teach all the parts if she needed to. Now, man, we listening to whatever we want to on the radio. We listen to the radio. Some people watch TV while they driving. Whatever the case may be,
but not being productive.
But not being productive with learning music. And so that was my fault. And so at the end of the day, we didn't have the performance that we should have with the music, because I, as the leader, was like, yeah, we'll be fine. And so if myself and all these other people who were professionals didn't make sure that we were on point with our music, why do you think, young person,
and if you're the example, if they're looking up to you, and this is what we do.
What makes you think that you can't rehearse? So now we at a point where everybody think you can just send music and we'll be good, and it's not.
I'm not that individual at all. First of all, I love rehearsal. I love rehearsal.
We know
Rehearsal is amazing to me. I always
this.
love
We
rehearsal.
know.
I love because there's nothing like going out there when it's time to execute and not having to think about
Exactly.
Sure.
what you have to do. I don't have to think about. I can literally that's when you can freestyle. That's when you can go outside the box a little bit and hop back in.
Yep.
Chris Brown knows his show so well that he can come over here, do this, and get right back in step because you know it.
Yep.
You literally are putting the work in, and it's like second nature. So that when people do lots and lots of rehearsals, and I know a lot of times people, they kind of shave off the rehearsals maybe because of budget. Again, maybe people are out of town, all that stuff, and I think that sometimes makes things a little harder.
But you know what, Dre? They still rehearse. Looking at the Kirk Franklin tour, even though they was all from out of state, they still spent 2 weeks rehearsing that whole show.
Yeah.
So we gotta translate that down to people who are just getting, because if people who are just getting started into music have that mindset, you ain't gonna. I'm not saying that you gotta be professional yet.
Let me tell you,
Y'all
when I first started being stepping into that music, I mean, let me be honest. I've always been a music director. I never really was the guy that plays in the band, even though I know how to. I have always been the lead person,
Gotcha.
on in the instrument, except for when I was playing drums. So my mindset was always, we have to rehearse, because first of all, I grew up in a church where they rehearsed. The band would rehearse for 3-4 hours. They would rehearse for 3-4 hours, and I'd be there watching them. And they rehearsing the same few songs, but they would be going through it, making sure it was completely tight.
Yeah.
So I was I want to be on that level. So if I want to be on a level, I have to do what I saw. And what I saw them doing was rehearsing. So yeah, we when I got my studio NCM over on Lasser, Daedrian, them jokers, they'll tell you Grant Gabriel, what is it? Gabriel Grant?
Yeah.
Grant.
No, Grant Gabriel.
I hate to always mess that up. Grant,
Are y'all crazy?
Grant and them, Jayla and them, we would be in rehearsal 7-8 hours.
Yeah.
Working on Callahan music. We would be in there working.
That separates the good from the great.
Separates it, and you know what I'm saying. And it just became a point where we were just this is easy. Okay, come on, blah blah blah. So that was me even being later. I was in my 30s at that point. So even still, I'm yo, we gotta rehearse. Even now, I tell guys, we gotta rehearse.
Absolutely.
I need you at this rehearsal. And I know we all got a lot of stuff going on. Again,
If you're serious about this,
you're serious about it.
If you're serious about this, and not only that, don't stretch yourself so thin that you commit into all of these different things and then you can't commit to the rehearsal.
Stop chasing the dollars.
It's going to chase you.
They'll chase you if you're good enough, and you will be good enough if you practice and you rehearse.
People work from the back end to the to the front. And more people put more time in the performance than to do the preparation. And it's showing, and it's really bad. But the thing is, for the people who actually take this serious, this is okay, cool, get out the way. Because I know that if I know that even in just the sense of podcasting, there's a statistic. I think it's most podcasts, I don't know what the actual percentage is, but most podcasts don't make it past episode 12. I'm talking about less than 10%, more than 90% don't make it past.
Well, y'all grown now. Y'all 18. Amen.
Okay. 18. You know what that means.
So-
I'm here for y'all 18th
cigarettes.
birthday.
What? That's the first thing you thought of?
Playing the lottery.
Cigarettes.
You gotta be having hard times in life to smoke a cigarette.
Cigarette.
Virginia Slims. And
This nigga's like,
Okay.
we smoking cigarettes. That's
so
the first thing.
before
that
we
you
let you
thought.
go, you have an event coming up.
Yes.
I'm gonna say anything.
August 16th.
August 16th. And I hate that I can't be there. We will be in Cancun.
I know I wanted
Because we would have
Dre
been
to be there.
We would have been a part of it.
Yes, absolutely.
We definitely
would.
would have
I'm
been.
gonna do something else because I want y'all to be a
No,
part
we
of
have to
it.
work. We have to work.
That's fine.
Like
It's
after this,
time.
we have to
It is
work.
time.
That's totally
We have
fine.
to work. I got a
absolutely.
lot of ideas. We got to work.
So August 16th, Voices United. Because I'm all about collaboration. That's what 5 for 5 was about. Me working with Kevin all of these years. I'm a collaborator. I can't do everything myself, so I always want to work with people who do what they do excellently. Is that a word? Excellently.
I think so.
If it ain't, you gonna
Whatever.
make it today.
It's a word today.
Who gonna check
In
you?
Craig Mizell's dictionary. All right.
Excellent.
So I want things to be done in the people who do things in excellence and they work in their craft and they do it well. I want you to be a part of what I do, and then you bring your excellence. I'll bring whatever excellence I got, and
It's a night of
and
excellence.
it's a night of excellence.
Yeah.
So I got my bro Darnell Davis in the Remnant coming from Minneapolis. They are so ridiculous. And I hope maybe, no, you're going to be out of town,
Yeah.
but it doesn't matter. Fine. We'll get him down here another, because you need to have him on a podcast.
Okay.
Because he is like, he has so much history. He grew up in Minnesota around Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis.
Oh,
and
yes.
he worked with them.
Oh,
and
yes.
it's a lot of artists that he introduced to them. So, and you want to just hear his hit. You might have
yeah.
to do like a 3-hour show with him.
That's fine.
Like,
That's
it's-
fine. We gonna
but
get that
I'm
connect.
gonna work that out for you. But Darnell Davis in the Remnant from Minneapolis. I got Carlos Whitlow in the Metro Fellowship Choir. Jeremiah Towner and Highest Praise, and then Craig Mizell and the Collective. Will be singing some new material as well.
Yeah.
So
That's gonna
we
be
just
great.
we're just gonna be hanging out. Kevin's gonna be there. He's coming.
telling jokes,
opened
y'all.
up. And
Thought you said you wanted to be a comedian.
I'm bringing my book.
The black
black
pocketbook.
Jokes.
so yeah, August 16th, Voices United.
Where at?
We haven't determined our location, but I'm gonna narrow that down this week. I actually have the location. I just haven't released it yet.
That's fair.
but
That's fair. We'll
yeah.
we'll make sure that we put his information.
Absolutely.
So y'all make sure that you do they have to buy tickets at a free event?
No, it's a free event.
So they can just pull up.
come by, bring some money, because
Oh yeah, because we're gonna do an
We
offer.
love
We're gonna do an
offering.
offering.
We're gonna do
Yeah.
an
We're gonna do an offer.
You gonna offer something
I mean, for all listeners singing, you're going to offer something.
currency wise.
You got to be specific.
Currency.
Currency
You got
wise.
to be
Got to be
specific.
specific.
Because they gonna be like, I got you.
Hey, ooh, ooh.
Whoa. And Jerry B as the Voices of Excellence. And y'all go.
They got chickens like.
Y'all crazy.
Wow, that's okay. So, are you releasing new music that night? What you doing?
No, I'm not releasing anything. I'm going to probably introduce a couple of new songs I've been working on. So my sound for my solo stuff is going to be like completely. Kevin's heard it. It's not what I do with my clients.
I
and
love
stuff.
it.
This is more, you're gonna hear like more beats, more the vibe that Big God was is gonna be that and go further. So
Okay.
yeah, it's more feel good music, but
That's
still
what's up.
church. And this is the thing, I love choirs, so choirs are still gonna always be incorporated in any solo stuff I do. It's just how they're incorporated is not
Gotcha.
gonna be the normal choir stuff.
Got you.
Yeah.
Well, I'm happy for you.
I appreciate
The
it,
Dream
man.
Lab podcast is ecstatic
Yeah.
for your
Appreciate
next
it, man.
project.
Sure.
We think that it's going to be great. I know it's going to be great. I've heard everything that you, well, not everything, because that would be a lie, but I've heard a lot of things, a lot of your work.
Crazy.
Just be honest, sitting here, talking about, yeah, I heard everything you did. He like, well, what about this? Well,
Didn't hear that one yet.
besides that one, but no, I'm excited. Anyone want to just drop in a few words, anything before we end this episode?
I just learned a lot.
Yeah, because you didn't know
DMV.
anything.
Perfecting.
Flint.
Flint. No, it's always an honor. I probably know Craig more than anybody in here, but I'm just grateful that he's very teachable and that he has allowed me to grow, because I didn't know a lot at all. But a lot of stuff that I know now is because he took the time to say, try this way. It was one time he did tell me at the studio, You're not gonna like everything. What were we working on? It was something we was doing.
Oh, something you didn't like the project?
No,
we
no,
was
I
writing
love the
something.
project, but it was something I just kept saying, Craig, it's not, this don't make, it wasn't that it didn't make sense. It wasn't what I liked. But it was for somebody else. I think he said everything is not going to be a hit. It was something he said.
It was something to the effect. But it's a true statement. It's a true statement. Like at the end of the day, when you watch Quincy Jones, he talked about how Michael Jackson wanted him to take the violin line on I think it was Rock With You, I think, or something. He wanted him to take that whatever line is, he wanted him to take that line out, and he was like, I'm not taking that line out. So sometimes the producer, you just got to be like, I'm not moving on. You're not the producer, you're the
And that's
artist.
why you need that's
exactly.
That's why you need a good producer.
Like, you know what? He right. I'm gonna shut that self up and but I just appreciate that I've gotten a chance to learn and grow. Like I remember the studio that was off of Southfield Freeway to Lasser, and like again, it's just to see the growth of everything is like.
Now we at the Village. Amen.
Yes, I couldn't remember.
Okay, so that's where you are.
Yeah. So and shout out to Brandon Fletcher, Quentin Denard, Ben Jones at the Village for kind of really just taking me in. We took everything that I was doing over at NCM, and we are now. Shameless plug. We are now a full-fledged rehearsal studio. So like the whole, if you've ever been to the Village, there's a whole entire warehouse area. You can come and set up your whole show, rehearse there for a week, do whatever you got to do. We got the monitoring. It's not just stuff inside the in-house. We actually have partnered up with a backline company and an audio-visual company that will, for a fee, God bless you, it's not included, but for a fee will be able to bring out everything you need for your show. So this is, if you are a smaller group, if you are a bigger act, it doesn't matter. We can full service, and it's in a very safe neighborhood, very clean building, and then there's also a full-fledged studio there. I'm going to cut all of this out and use this on my social media page as a commercial. God bless you.
That's fine. That's fine.
So I want y'all to please tap in. You can just reach out to me, or you can go to thevillagedetroit.com. God bless you.
Well, God bless you, Craig. We appreciate you so much for dropping by the Dream Lab podcast. I thought I had something that I was going to add to that, but sometimes those thoughts go away. Just being honest. Well, again, thank you for coming.
Absolutely.
Make sure that you subscribe, okay? Make sure that you like. Y'all be watching every week, and we appreciate it.
Subscribe.
Like the views are going up every week, and we truly appreciate that.
Subscribe.
Because I didn't know what this was going to be. We just started the podcast, and it's growing great.
Consistency is key.
I'm telling you.
You've been saying that since the first episode.
Consistency, you will move to the front of the line.
Absolutely.
Just by being consistent.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
So be consistent. Be okay with spending money and investing in yourself, and be okay with going into new atmospheres and learning more about your craft. Just, I guess, digging deeper into what it is that you do.
Yeah,
make sure that you're okay with that. Be okay with what people are going to say. The niggas going to talk. That's just what they do. Because they're not doing anything else.
I love that.
They're not doing anything else. So I mean, hey, you just got to focus on what you're gonna focus on, because I guarantee you, if you stick with it, you're gonna see some results, and it's gonna the what's the scripture? Is it? Come on, which one?
Give me the text so I can find it mentally.
The glory that's gonna be revealed. What is it?
For the glory that shall be revealed.
I just said we couldn't.
But what's the first half?
We're all Christians here. Nobody know it.
I don't know it off the top of my head. I know what you're talking about.
For I reckon, for the sufferings of this present time.
Yep.
So you may have to suffer a little bit and deal with what you're dealing with, because that stuff applies to everything. Don't just think it's because you broke that's the suffering. No. You got to suffer when you're disciplining yourself to really work on your craft. Discipline yourself. It's gonna feel weird. It's gonna feel rough. You're gonna get frustrated. You're not gonna want to put your focus here. You're gonna want to go out and want to spend money here. But I need you to focus, because you're almost there. But you got to focus. You got to put the work in.
We got a
You
song.
almost there.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Huh?
You just bought a song.
Yeah.
You're almost there.
Almost there. I will insert my fake tongues right there.
Please.
Rokoyasha tayara baba.
Okay.
Yeah.
The baby need a baba. Got it. Got it right there.
That was episode 18
Thank
with
you.
Craig Mizell. Y'all make sure that you tune in next week for episode 19. We don't know who's going to be here, but we'll be here. Bye.
Goodbye.
See y'all.